Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Wednesday. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, tonight we get the Vanderpump Rules new episode. And of course, we have our Vanderpump Rules after party at 10 p.m. Eastern, where Jason is going to be making a cocktail. Now, on top of that, we're back to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey because I don't know if you watched last night. What the happened to Louie? Where did this is this editing? The pop off? The Joe Gorga's an animal. He's fucking trash. It's like, where did this come from? And not only that, fans are slamming Rachel Fuda for a fake storyline when it comes to adopting her stepson. There is so much to discuss. And of course, you guys know that we are going live today for our full recap with Ricky Cornish and at Chrissy Balls on TikTok. She covers everything. You guys are not going to want to miss this. But before we jump in, you know all the YouTube stuff to do. Smash that like button, show some love, hit that notification bell, and let's do the damn thing.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Lost it, loses it, whatever you want to call it, Louie's it. He went off. Louie Ruelas completely lost his ish, and he was not joking around in this episode, and it was very cringe to watch. Louie Ruelas, thank you, page 6, officially lost it and insulted his brother-in-law Joe Gorga on Tuesday's episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Do you know what it's like for me to be calm in the last 3 months around an animal like that? Is what he asked Teresa. And then he told Teresa that he does so because I'm not going to lower myself to fucking trash that does that. Now, Teresa elaborated more on Louie's feelings in a confessional. And she said, poor guy, he's been taking it. And I feel horrible because it's my family. Like, I'm embarrassed. The thing is about all of this, when I did the interview with Teresa Giudice, she said, I'm a big girl, because I said there's a lot of fans who see the red flags and they are very concerned for you and your daughters. And she said, I'm a big girl. Here's the thing. I'm a big girl. I can handle myself. I don't have to really explain to everyone because you're watching a small little window into my life on a TV show that is heavily edited. And she's not wrong. However, watching this in this moment, I talked about this a little bit on the after party last night, but I feel like this is one of those moments where you have somebody who's come into the situation, and that would be Louie. Now, Joe Gorga and the rest of the cast, they have raised red flags about Louie, but especially Teresa's family, like Melissa and Joe. They haven't said too much, but they've definitely said enough where he's on their radar. And for him, he gets to now be like, you already have a problem with your brother, Teresa, and he's acting like this to you, and he's a an animal, and I'm watching the way that he treats you. He's easing himself into, like, when they get married, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to keep you away from trash like that. If you were in a snake pit, would you want somebody to pull you out? Would you pull me out, Teresa? I'm about to pull you out of the snake pit. And he's stepping into that traditional role of, I am husband, you are wife. I'm doing whatever I can to protect you in this family. And she's falling into it in this episode. At least that's how it appears to us as the viewers. Some of us. I mean, that's for damn sure how it appeared to me. But let's keep going. The mama 4 explained to her soon-to-be husband that she always wanted a relationship with her younger brother, but she's done and tired of getting hurt. We're getting married, and after that, I'm not going to allow anyone to do anything like this to you anymore. Now, Louie Ruelas' disdain for Joe Gorga only seems to escalate later in the episode when Giudice claims that her brother hasn't been returning her phone calls. It's happening right now on purpose because we're getting married, and it's bullshit. It's such a shame. I feel so bad for you guys. The dad of 2 added that more than anything else, he got insulted when Joe and his wife, Melissa Gorga, told Teresa she seemed miserable at a group event earlier in the season. Meanwhile, you see her, Giudice's happiness, you see her vulnerability, you see her living her best life right now, and you're going to say that she looks miserable? Oh, you can see. He is literally getting so tense when he's explaining this. He's like, Teresa, the way that they're talking to you. And mind you, he's not 100% wrong. There is a clear divide between brother and sister here. But Bridget last night was on Watch What Happens Live. And she made a great point too. Like, in a relationship, if Jason had issues with his brother or sister, I would just encourage him, I feel like, to fix those things if I could. If I knew, like, if I didn't have my own issues, I guess, with his brother or sister, I would just be like, you only get one set of them. You don't get to choose your family. And I would push him to try to make amends as best as possible. I've even had to deal with this in my own family, but I wouldn't necessarily let Jason come into my life if I had an issue with my brother or sister and him be like, I'm protecting you. You don't get to do that. I would be like, Jason, respectfully, stay in your lane. This is my family. I will handle my family. I've been around them a lot longer than you. But I get it. I get all sides. It's weird. He came to the conclusion that Joe would rather see his sister broken down and needing him, or he's projecting his own bullshit on you. Your brother is devilishly calculated by everything that he does, that he's actually thinking about how to hurt you. It's disgusting. Judice asked her fiance if he plans on speaking to Joe at the group event later that night, to which Louie replied, I would like to talk to your brother as much as I want to talk to a rat in the street. I find him boring. Like, I wouldn't even share a cup of water with him. It's disgusting. I've shown your brother nothing but sincerity, love. I handed over to him verbally saying, you are the patriarch of this family, not me. Louie also came up with the fact that Joe is threatened by him and accused him of manipulating and gaslighting his older sister. He said, I can't stand to be around him anymore. I don't even want your brother coming to our wedding because I don't want that energy around a beautiful event. The intense conversation ended with Louie telling Teresa that he's pulling her out of the Gorga snake pit. I've never heard Louie talk like this before, but I don't blame him at all. This is what Teresa said in her confessional. If the tables were turned, I would be so upset if his sisters were treating me this way. Elsewhere in the intense conversation, Louie said that he's praying to God that there isn't fighting at the party later because Teresa is not going to recognize me. I'm fucking done, man. It's scary what can happen tonight. My face, exactly. Despite hoping that he would not have to confront Joe before his wedding, the preview for next week's finale episode shows the two men getting into an explosive argument. I don't give a f because I'm a winner. I'm winning, is what Louie said to the camera. Meanwhile, one of the other husbands is holding Joe back as he shouts to Louie, back the f up. The confrontation, in addition to months of other feuds, ultimately led the Gorgas to ditch Louie and Teresa's wedding last August. Now, if you think that's all, well, it's definitely not, because Rachel Fuda is being called out by the biological mother of John Fuda's son. Okay. The teen's birth mom, Brittany, who is currently serving prison time at a halfway house, says that she has never heard anything about this adoption process. She explained that she had no idea where the papers were served and does not know the status on the adoption. She says that she plans on hiring an attorney once she gets out of prison. And if Brittany does sign off on the adoption, she would legally terminate her rights as Jaden's mother. And she says that that's not at all what she wants. If I had nothing to do with the situation, I would be watching the show thinking how lame she is, completely disregarding Jaden's personal life and feelings and taking shots at me to make her look like a knight in shining armor as a stepmom. I mean, hold on real quick. She didn't take shots at you. She said that she doesn't know how to navigate conversation. First of all, nope, totally team Rachel. She stepped in when you were out doing whatever you were doing to get yourself in the prisons, to get yourself in the halfway house, whenever. I don't know what your charges were, but this woman actually stepped up to raise your son, to be there for him when he comes home. He's excited because he passed that math test. He might have got on the sports team. He's watching his favorite show, or maybe it's even pizza night. All of those moments where those weren't important enough to you and you were too busy doing whatever you were doing, she was there for. So when you're saying that she's using this as a storyline and that she's completely disregarding his feelings, I think that you probably, ma'am, have disregarded his feelings for a long time because you prioritized everything else that got you into the place that you're in before you prioritized your son. So I think that this is not a fair attack on Rachel Fuda, and that is all I'm going to say about that. But guys, go ahead and comment below. Let us know what you think. And more importantly, before you go, don't forget that, well, today at 1 p.m. Eastern, I thought it was 12. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern. We have our live recap for the Real Housewives of New Jersey with Ricky Cornish and at Chrissy Balls on TikTok. So we'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Love you. See you later.